Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of Revin's Road to a $1 million inventory. In this episode, we're going to be discussing which case is likely to be removed next from CS2. What we're going to do today is employ the Expected Value Theorem and try to figure out which case is the best investment going forward relative to its chance of being removed. What we're going to do is reason and guesstimate to the best of our abilities, based on past data and historical trends, which case is likely next on the chopping block. So let's begin by eliminating the cases we don't think will get removed, and that's the Kilowatt case and the Genesis terminal, as these are the latest two additions to the game, so I don't think they're going anywhere for a while. Let's give this a low probability of 1%. And I actually think the Genesis terminal is slightly more likely to get removed than the Kilowatt case because we don't know if this was some kind of experiment by Valve and they're going to replace it with some new terminal. So let's give this a probability of 2%. Next on the chopping block, let's look at the Revolution case. So we'll take a quick look at the unboxing numbers. As you can see, it's unboxed in the millions every month. I believe it's just trailing behind the Fever case. It's one of the most unboxed cases in CS. And we know the clutch case rule whereby Valve doesn't like to remove cases that print money. So let's give this a low probability of 3%. Yeah, I think that's fair that this equals these two probabilities. So now what we're left over with is a 94% probability, which we need to distribute between these two cases. So let's look at the Recoil case to begin. And we have the data here. So just 3 million unboxed in September, whereas the Dreams and Nightmare case, we have 3.7 million. That's over a 20% unboxing rate. So we can safely assume the Dreams and Nightmare is not going anywhere because it's more unboxed. But on the other hand, we do know Valve is trying to kill case farmers, and this would actually wreck their ROI in EV since this case is over $1. So I think a 1.5x multiplier for the Recoil case over the Dreams and Nightmare case is fair. So what we can do is 1.5x plus x equals 94. And we're trying to solve for x, which will give us a probability that the Dreams and Nightmare case is removed. So 2.5x equals 94. Therefore, x equals 37.6. So this is 37.6, and then this should be 1.5 times that, which is 56.4. And now we can actually fill out these probabilities as well, which we need to figure out the expected value. Here we have 43.6, 97, 99, and 98. Yeah, so now that we have the probabilities, let's try to figure out the predicted price once they get removed. To predict the prices of these cases, we can look at similar cases that have been removed. To begin, let's start with the Dreams and Nightmare case, and we can compare this to the Spectrum 2 case, because this has similar goals in the Butterfly Doppler and the Butterfly Ruby. I would argue that the Butterfly Emerald is more desirable than this, and the Dreams and Nightmare case is slightly more desirable than this case. So this sells for around $350 on third-party sites. So we can price this at $4 if it gets removed. Next, let's look at the Recoil case. We know the Snakebite case has the exact same goals, and I would argue the Recoil case has better coverts in the USB Printstream. So I think it's fair to argue that this could be priced at $1. Now, the Revolution case is actually slightly better than the Recoil case in that you can pull the vice gloves. Although it has similar level of golds and coverts, I would argue it's slightly more desirable due to the vice gloves. So we can price this at $1.20. And the Kilowatt case is next. Now, this may be a controversial take, but I think this is easily a $2 case. It's selling for 22 cents right now. If you look at the Gallery case, this is like almost the exact same case, but with way better coverts. The AK Inheritance and the Chrome Cannon are like both very desirable guns. A lot of pro players use these guns. So I would argue it's a minimum $2 case. So we'll put a price for $2 if and when it does get removed. And last, let's try to price the Genesis terminal. This also may be a controversial take, but I think this is worth at least $3. Because the coverts in this case are just really special. The Oligarch, it looks like a $1,000 skin. The M4A4 full throttle is also like a really special skin in my opinion, with its chartreuse colors. Now we'll simply calculate the percentage gain if it's been removed. And to do this, we simply have to divide the predicted price by the current price, and then times it by 100 and minus 100 because we want to calculate the actual gain. So for the first one, it's 4 divided by 1.23 times 100 minus 100. And I'll just plug in all these values for you guys. For this one, it's 225. I'll plug in all these values into Excel and you should see it on your screen in a second. So I plugged all these values into Excel for you guys because I don't want to bore you with too much math. But now what we're going to do is calculate the expected value, which is what we're really after, which is what will tell us which one of these cases are the best investment going forward in terms of their relative chance of being removed. So to begin, let's try to calculate the expected value of the Dreams and Nightmare case. And to do this, we simply need to multiply the chance of it being removed with the gain if it's removed, and add that to the chance of it remaining multiplied by its current price. So the formula would look something like 2.25 plus 1. Remember, because this was the gain, and then we have to multiply this by 0.376. I'm just converting this into decimals because it's a lot easier. And then we simply have to add 0.624 times 1. So it's simply just 0.624. And this would give us an expected value of 185%. And I'll plug in all the values for the rest of these, and you'll see them on your screen in just a second. And we have a winner with the Recoil Case with an expected value of 252%. In runner-up, we have the Dreams and Nightmare case, but the Recoil Case wins out both on the percentage gain and the chance of it being removed. If you are slightly more risk-averse, I would recommend maybe investing 70 or 80% into the Recoil and 20 to 30% into the Dreams and Nightmare case. Otherwise, I would bet mostly on the Recoil Case. In third place, surprisingly, we have the Genesis terminal with 123% ROI. And I've been getting a lot of questions about this case, and I think people recognize that once it gets removed, this case is going to absolutely explode in price. Now, that being said, I don't know if I can recommend the Genesis terminal as an investment going forward, because as you can see, the chances of it getting removed are pretty slim, and the EV's impacted because of this as well. If for whatever reason you think it's going to get removed, I would maybe recommend picking up 50 or 100 cases, but I cannot recommend it as an investment going forward due to the measly 120% EV from investing in this case. I've also prepared an Excel spreadsheet with all the formulas for you guys, so if you disagree with any of my assumptions or any of my prices, you guys can just plug in your own prices here, and your own probabilities even, and it will recalculate the EVs for you guys. So as you can see, the EV's gone up to 223 here. So if you do disagree, although I believe my assumptions and predictions are quite conservative and reasonable, you can play around with this and enter your own prices and decide which case you want to invest in accordingly. In line with what we've said earlier, for the investment of the week, I've picked none other than the Recoil Case. This case is currently dipped in price this month, and you can pick this up from third-party sites for around 27 or even 26 cents. With an expected value of 252%, I think this is a no-brainer S+ tier investment. I'm planning to pick up 10,000 of these in the next few months. That's right, you heard me correctly. I'm planning to pick up 10,000 of these in the next few months. For the first giveaway on this channel, we're going to be giving away this AWP Printstream. It's in a 0.27 field tested. We're going to be giving this away at 200 subs. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do is like the video and comment down below. Make sure you comment your Steam trade link down below or you have it on your YouTube bio. Thank you all and good luck with the giveaway. And that wraps up episode 4. We've crowned a clear winner in the Recoil case in that it has the highest expected value going forward in the near term. For our next episode, I am planning a Christmas special where we're going to take a break from talking investments and we're going to do a knife trade up. That's right, we're going to do another gold trade up after the Bowie knife fail. We're going to go for the vice gloves and we're going to go for that butterfly knife. And I'm also going to do a game room tour where I show you guys my game room and my gaming setup. I hope to see you guys next week. Peace.